Someone is coming forward with a confession that will confirm what your intuition has been telling you all along. Take a slow, steady breath before you hear this, because what you are about to experience is not random, not a coincidence, and not something you imagined in your head. You did not create this in your thoughts. You did not overanalyze the situation, and you did not misunderstand the signs that were right in front of you. Your intuition has been softly whispering to you for a long time, even during moments when you tried to silence it or push it aside. And very soon, someone is going to say the words out loud that match everything you have already felt deep inside. You felt it long before you could explain it clearly, before logic made sense of it, before you had proof, before any direct conversation happened. There was a quiet knowing inside you. It felt like a gentle pull you could not explain. A strange mix of heaviness and warmth in your chest. There were moments when their name appeared in your mind without any clear reason, and times when the silence between you felt louder and more powerful than actual words. You tried to ignore that feeling. You distracted yourself. You told yourself that maybe you were just imagining things. Maybe you were reading too much into small moments. But intuition does not shout or force itself on you. It waits calmly and patiently until the truth has space to arrive, and your intuition has been very patient with you. The rationale behind this situation is straightforward. This individual has been concealing something significant. The impending confession did not emerge abruptly. Rather, it has been slowly developing over time, quietly and sometimes painfully, within their heart and mind. They did not remain silent due to indifference. On the contrary, they chose to remain quiet because they felt more deeply than they could manage. They feared uttering the wrong words, feared rejection, feared altering the connection permanently, and feared confronting emotions that felt overwhelmingly intense. They have been attuned to you far more than you might have realized. They noticed subtle shifts in your mood, energy, and behavior. They recalled small details about you that you assumed had gone unnoticed or unappreciated. There were numerous occasions when they nearly mustered the courage to speak out, but fear intervened and held them back. However, fear cannot maintain its grip indefinitely. Your intuition perceived their internal struggle, even when nothing was explicitly said. You sensed that something remained unresolved between you, akin to an unfinished sentence. This is why the dynamic between you felt incomplete, and why the connection never entirely waned, despite the passage of time or distance. Your intuition caught onto their reluctance, the emotional distance that would sometimes shift to closeness again, and the indirect ways they attempted to remain present in your life. You sensed the tension when you were near each other, the unspoken emotions that lingered in simple moments, and the meaning embedded in silence. This was never confusion, despite your fears. It was a truth held back, and truth that is suppressed inevitably finds an avenue for expression, sooner or later. The reason for the confession occurring now is that timing is more significant than many tend to realize. Something has transformed, either within you, within them, or perhaps within both of you simultaneously. Perhaps you began withdrawing your energy and focusing more on yourself. Maybe you ceased seeking answers and stopped trying to force clarity. Perhaps you embraced peace over the weight and released the need for control. Strangely enough, this is precisely what created the space for this truth to approach you. When you relinquished desperate need for answers, those answers began to draw near on their own. This confession transcends power dynamics or a desire for control. It is about honesty triumphing over fear. When the moment arrives, do not anticipate a theatrical revelation as seen in movies. Instead, it may manifest during an ordinary, quiet moment that appears quite mundane on the surface, yet the emotional weight of it will be undeniable. It might surface in simple phrases such as, "I have something I want to share with you," or "I'm not certain why I'm saying this now," but I've felt this way for a long time. Or perhaps, you were right all along. When those words are uttered, you will experience a profound stillness and serenity within, for you will instantly recognize the truth without requiring additional clarification. Surprises will not overwhelm you. Rather, you will feel reassured. You will not think to yourself that you never saw it coming. Instead, you will quietly muse, "I already knew." That calm response, that quiet understanding within your heart, validates your intuition. Life is not trying to catch you off guard with something unexpected. It is merely affirming what your inner voice has known for an extended time. What this individual is truly confessing goes beyond mere romantic feelings. They are admitting their struggle against their emotions, their difficulty in letting you go even when they pretended they could, and that distance has not diminished what they feel. They are acknowledging that pretending to be indifferent has been emotionally taxing, that silence has weighed on them, too, and that internalizing everything has become burdensome. This confession is not solely an emotional release for them. It is also a liberation for you. It clears the air that has felt heavy for so long. This moment holds significance for you because it is not merely focused on love or connection. It is also about relearning to trust yourself. Once this unfolds, you will understand that your intuition is both robust and accurate. Your emotional awareness is genuine, and your inner voice can be relied upon. You were never overly sensitive, never overly dramatic, never foolish, and certainly never wrong. You were simply in tune with something real before it found expression. You have been prepared for this moment through your recent experiences, including emotional growth, learning detachment, building inner resilience, and becoming comfortable with uncertainty. None of these lessons have been in vain. You needed to foster enough inner steadiness to hear the truth without losing yourself in it, and now you are in that position. After the confession, it is essential to recognize that honesty does not automatically lead to a perfect fairy tale beginning. What it genuinely brings is clarity in place of confusion, truth in lieu of guesses, and a return of agency to your hands. You will determine what occurs next, not from a position of longing or fear, but rather from a foundation of awareness and self-respect that embodies true growth and real strength. If you find yourself feeling emotional upon hearing this, that serves as confirmation. If you feel calm rather than anxious, it indicates alignment with your true self. If this message resonates deeply within your heart, it signifies your intuition acknowledging its moment. You did not fabricate this connection. You did not misinterpret the energy. You did not wait in vain. Someone is indeed approaching with a confession that aligns perfectly with what you have sensed deep inside. As this moment nears, allow things to unfold naturally. Do not force a conversation, and do not begin to doubt yourself. Permit the truth to reveal itself in its own time and manner, for when it does, you will uncover something profoundly meaningful. Your intuition has not only detected love, it has also sensed the opportune moment for that love to be articulated, and that moment has finally arrived. As you proceed from this point, a deeper layer accompanies this moment in your life, and it is not something loud or overwhelming, but rather something steady and grounding that gradually settles within you. Once the confession is articulated and the truth is finally brought to light, you may observe a shift in your body before your mind fully processes it. Your shoulders may drop. Your breath may deepen. The incessant mental chatter that once revolved around unanswered questions will start to quiet. This calming effect arises because clarity soothes the soul. For so long, your energy has been ensnared in wondering, sensing, and waiting, even when you reassured yourself that you were fine. Now that energy returns to you, you may find yourself reflecting on past interactions and experiencing sudden illumination. Small exchanges that once left you puzzled will come together in a coherent narrative. Incomplete words will finally connect, and silence that once felt burdensome will now seem explained. This does not pull you backward into the past. Rather, it liberates you from it. You no longer bear unexpressed tension or emotional uncertainty. What follows is a period of choice, and a choice made from awareness feels distinctly different from one made out of emotional hunger. You are not pursuing a feeling or seeking validation. You are grounded in your clarity, seeing the situation for what it genuinely is. This allows you to respond instead of react. You might find yourself feeling compassion for the other individual, recognizing that fear often silenced them, and acknowledging the challenge they faced in expressing their truth. Simultaneously, it is essential to extend that same compassion toward yourself, appreciating the patience you exhibited, the trust you placed in your inner voice even during uncomfortable moments, and the strength you developed along the way. Maintaining this balance is crucial. It prevents you from losing yourself in their emotions or neglecting your own needs. No matter where this connection leads from here, it will be grounded in honesty rather than assumptions, marking a significant transformation. You may observe a diminished inclination to scrutinize every message, pause, or slight change in behavior. Your nervous system begins to feel more secure as truth instills stability. Even if uncertainties remain, they no longer induce fear. You now understand that you can manage ambiguity, trust your timing, and that you don't need to force outcomes for a sense of security. This moment also fortifies your relationship with yourself. You start to honor your intuition more profoundly, viewing it not as something mystical or dramatic, but as a steady guide that has proven its reliability. This newfound confidence transcends into other aspects of your life as well. You listen more attentively to your inner signals, hesitate less when something feels amiss, and move forward with increased self-trust. This realization becomes one of the greatest gifts of your experience. It imparts the understanding that patience is not a weakness, silence does not always signify absence, and truths have their own cadence. As you progress, remember that there is no obligation to rush toward conclusions or labels. You are permitted to take your time, to experience your emotions fully, and to make choices that resonate with your peace. This chapter is not about proving anything to anyone. It is about honoring your knowledge and allowing your life to unfold with greater honesty and self-respect. Regardless of what transpires next, you are no longer waiting in darkness. You stand in awareness, a shift that alters everything. As this awareness deepens, a subtle transformation commences, one that may not be immediately noticeable, but will manifest over time in meaningful ways. You begin to comprehend that you are no longer functioning from a mindset of loss or misunderstanding. Instead, you operate from a place of self-connection, where your emotions are stable and your thoughts are clear. You come to realize that this experience was never intended to rush you into a conclusion, but rather to slow you down enough to truly understand yourself. The periods of waiting, sensing, and experiencing doubt and hope were shaping you into someone capable of bearing truth without becoming overwhelmed. You may notice that conversations feel lighter, your responses are calmer, and you are less disturbed by uncertainty in general. This change arises from a balanced inner world. You no longer seek constant validation because you have learned the art of self-reassurance. You no longer feel an urgent need to pursue clarity since it has already settled within you. Even if this connection develops slowly, it will do so without the emotional pressure that once characterized it. And if it follows a different path, you will embrace that reality with grace rather than resistance. There is strength in recognizing that you will be okay irrespective of the outcome, and this strength influences how you engage in every interaction. You may also find yourself becoming more present in the moment, relishing simple pleasures without your mind drifting back to unanswered questions. Your focus returns to your own life, aspirations, creativity, and sense of purpose. This shift is not because the connection has lost significance, but because it no longer dictates your identity. You are grounded in yourself first, creating a healthier environment for any relationship to flourish. Over time, you will realize that this experience has refined your emotional awareness. It has taught you to listen beyond words, to trust subtle feelings, and to remain open without neglecting yourself. These lessons will linger with you long after the moment has passed, influencing how you love, communicate, and guard your peace. You become more discerning with your energy, not out of fear, but from a place of self-respect. In this space, whatever is meant to develop will do so organically, without force or confusion. You are no longer waiting for signs or signals. You are living in accordance with what you already understand. This state of being embodies true emotional maturity, characterized not by dramatic conclusions or perfect beginnings, but by quiet confidence and inner stability. As you continue onward, you carry with you a deeper trust in life itself, confident that the truth will always reveal itself and that what is meant for you will never require you to compromise your integrity to receive it. As you advance with this newfound clarity, you may notice your relationship with time evolves. You begin to dismiss feelings of being hurried by invisible deadlines or pressure from expectations that are vaguely defined. Instead, you remain present, firmly rooted in the current moment. A quiet confidence accompanies you, one that need not be proclaimed or proved, but that is evident in your posture, tone, and demeanor. You trust that what requires expression will find its way out, and what needs to unfold will do so without your interference. This trust allows you to rest emotionally, a need you may not have realized existed until now. You begin to see that the connection you have sensed was never meant to overwhelm you, but to awaken you. It revealed the depth of your emotions, your perceptiveness, and the strength of your inner awareness. With this realization, you cease to doubt your emotional depth, starting to honor it instead. You recognize that sensitivity is not a flaw and that intuition is not mere imagination. Both are forms of intelligence that have guided you through uncertainty and led you to truth. You may also find yourself less affected by mixed signals or emotional inconsistencies now. Where confusion once trapped you, clarity now serves as a filter. You perceive others more clearly for who they are and their emotional capabilities. This newfound perspective does not render you cold or detached. Rather, it fosters honesty with yourself. You permit others to reveal themselves without attempting to alter them or fill in their gaps. This self-respect forms the foundation of your new approach. From this standpoint, your choices become clearer and more aligned. You no longer persist in situations hoping they will transform. Instead, you opt for what feels balanced, mutual, and emotionally authentic. If something fails to meet you at your level, you release it without resentment. This emotional growth cultivates a sense of peace that accompanies you even amid uncertainty. You trust yourself to navigate whatever lies ahead, knowing that validation does not necessitate chasing or over-explaining your worth. Your presence alone conveys enough truth. As life continues around you, you remain centered, open, and attentive. This journey has bestowed upon you a quiet power, the power to move forward without fear, to listen without doubt, and to live without forsaking the wisdom inherent within you. As you navigate this phase of your life, the understanding you have gained does not diminish. Instead, it deepens. Each day, even during seemingly mundane moments, you notice a distinct change in how you respond to people, situations, and emotions. You no longer get swept into emotional chaos as swiftly as before. When faced with challenges, you respond with calmness instead of panic, as there is a newfound inner stillness within you. The incessant questioning, silent pondering, and emotional guessing no longer dominate your inner self. You have cultivated a trust in yourself that enables you to pause before reacting, listen before speaking, and experience emotions without being overwhelmed. Though subtle, this transformation is profoundly impactful. You begin to notice that your boundaries become more defined without the need for justification. You instinctively distance yourself from what drains you and gravitate towards what revitalizes you. Feelings of guilt for prioritizing peace over emotional turmoil or for choosing yourself over situations that diminish your worth dissipate. This change arises not from shutting your heart, but from recognizing its significance. You maintain deep care and strong feelings, yet you refuse to lose yourself in uncertainty or emotional turmoil. Over time, reflection teaches you a vital lesson in patience. Not the kind that waits indefinitely without purpose, but the type that observes, learns, and evolves as life unfolds its truths. You realize that waiting was never about another individual, but about becoming emotionally prepared to receive clarity without fear. You learn to solidify your identity even when answers were slow to arrive. This lesson shapes how you engage with all aspects of life, from relationships to personal aspirations. Instead of forcing outcomes, you begin to trust the timing of events. You understand that arriving too soon may prevent proper reception, while arriving too late may render it unnecessary. Timing is revealed not as a penalty or a reward, but as a form of alignment, leading you to respect it rather than resist it. This newfound respect infuses your life with ease, reducing pressure to control every detail and encouraging you to embrace what unfolds naturally. You may also notice a fresh sense of emotional honesty within yourself. You allow joy to exist unexamined and sadness without judgment. You no longer suppress emotions to project strength, nor exaggerate them for visibility. Instead, you permit emotions to exist and flow through you. This balance enhances your presence in your own life. You engage in conversations more fully, listen more attentively, and speak with greater authenticity. You no longer search for hidden meanings in words or actions. You accept individuals at face value, trusting that authenticity demonstrates its consistency over time. This simplicity brings peace. Over time, you might observe changes in how others relate to you. Some may feel calmer, others more open, while some might find your grounded presence challenging, as it reflects truths they may not yet be ready to confront within themselves. You take this in stride, recognizing that everyone has their own journey at their own pace. You no longer feel obliged to fix, save, or carry others emotionally. Instead, you offer understanding where welcomed and establish distance where necessary. This emotional independence does not isolate you. It actually fortifies your connections. Relationships that endure feel more reciprocal, honest, and respectful. You cease pursuing emotional depth where it cannot flourish and invest in environments where it naturally thrives. You also develop a new appreciation for silence, which no longer feels like rejection or emptiness, but rather as a space for breathing, reflection, and reconnecting with yourself. You lose your fear of quiet moments, trusting in what they hold. You have grown comfortable with solitude, allowing your thoughts to flow without the need for constant distraction. This inner comfort emerges as one of your greatest assets, enabling you to enjoy your own company and approach relationships from a position of fulfillment rather than neediness. As you move forward, you recognize how this experience has reshaped your understanding of love and connection. Love is not defined by constant intensity or emotional peaks, but rather by safety, clarity, and mutual presence. It allows you to present your true self without the fear of being misunderstood or dismissed. This insight enables you to identify healthier relationships as they arise. You find yourself more patient with new beginnings and more accepting of endings, no longer clinging to uncertainty or resisting closure. You honor each phase for what it has taught you rather than for its duration. This mental shift grants you emotional liberation, allowing you to feel lighter, not due to diminishing care, but because you are no longer burdened by emotional weights that were never yours to bear. As days transition into weeks and weeks into months, you might look back and appreciate the distance you have traveled, often without recognizing each step taken. Once the version of yourself plagued by doubt, you now embrace profound trust. The once anxious self has transformed into a person moving forward with composure. The individual who struggled to hear their inner voice now listens to it with honor. Though this growth is quiet, its authenticity is apparent in your choices, favoring peace over drama, clarity over confusion, and honesty over evasion. You no longer seek validation for this maturation. You feel it in your being, your thoughts, and your choices. As you continue to navigate life from this grounded place, you remain open to connections without dependence. You invite honesty without chasing it, allowing emotions to surface without letting them dominate your sense of self. You've come to realize that true connection does not necessitate abandoning your intuition or silencing your needs. Instead, it meets you where you are, respects your boundaries, and develops over time. This awareness remains within you, gently guiding you through whatever lies ahead. You move forward, not with certitude about outcomes, but with an unwavering trust in yourself. This trust forms the bedrock of everything you will build from here. As you progress along this journey, a deeper sense of stability begins to solidify within you, one that cannot be rushed or forced, but rather lived and felt. You may notice that your identity is no longer contingent on how others perceive you. Where you once sought validation through words, tone, or actions, you now find assurance within your own self-awareness. You feel steady even amidst ambiguity because you understand that clarity does not dictate your worth or direction. This realization does not imply a lack of care or emotion. Rather, it signifies your choice to no longer tie your tranquility to uncontrollable outcomes. You advance with quiet confidence, assured that whatever arises will not overwhelm you, as you have already mastered the art of emotional self-support in uncertain times. This cultivates a sense of internal security that accompanies you throughout your experiences. You trust yourself to disengage from what no longer resonates and to remain engaged with what feels genuine and mutual. This equilibrium empowers you to engage with life unencumbered by the fear of losing your identity. You might find your emotional responses are softer now, not due to detachment, but because you are no longer influenced by past wounds or unresolved tensions. When discomfort arises, you recognize it without allowing it to define you. When joy fills you, you embrace it without clinging.